human male, when I received the task from Right Club to defend and embolden the first period, I did what every man would do. I asked why Right Club was being so emotionally irrational. I wondered privately and publicly to my compatriots why Right Club was being so passive-aggressive. I felt that Right Club had changed so much almost overnight with no explanation. It was almost as if Right Club was bleeding from the lap. Why would I, a man who is obviously trying to prevent periods by making love to and impregnating as many women as he can before he dies, be the appropriate speaker on said subject? And then I realized, if not me, when? If not now, who? My investigation into the realm of the bloody lap and its historical implications began, and my investigation ran deep. So deep, it put her ass to sleep. That was a poorly placed Ice Cube reference. All apologies. That was a poorly placed Nirvana reference. The postman always rings twice. That reference didn't belong anywhere near this debate. I began my investigation as one begins one's investigation, by asking the gentleman who collects bottles on my street. I am doing an essay on why the first period is better than menopause. What do you think about the first period? Well, I don't know much about menopause, but as far as the first period is concerned, I'd say it's very confusing. Thank you for your insight, good man. I should hang out on the street in the middle of the night and ask opinions more often, I said. No, you shouldn't, he said, and stopped screaming about how the Los Angeles Zoo is the most corrupt in the country. We can all hear you, you fucking maniac. I asked my roommate what he thought of the first period. He said, if you're Jewish, it means you're about to make a boatload of cash at your bat mitzvah. I don't know what it means for a goy. Not being a Republican, I decided it would be best to ask some ladies their view on the subject. It being such a lady-centric issue and all. I went straight to the populous bars, your Busby's, your Barney's Beaneries, and asked young, drunken, and beautiful ladies, what did you think about your first period? After being slapped and arrested many times, I finally got a civil response. It's a nightmare. It's like a crime scene in your pants, one lady informed me. I asked a mentally ill lady on the bus, what did you think about your first period? Deuces for pushies, she said. I know the real story of how the cheeseburger was invented. This was not very helpful, but surely very entertaining. I asked my dear lady friend who had this to say. My friend Melissa one time showed me her bloody pad, and I just thought it was weird. I was like, blood is coming out of her vagina and she has to wear a tiny diaper. And she has such a good attitude about it. So I took what I had learned from these men and these ladies and walked the streets of Los Angeles pondering the laps of ladies, and then it struck me, what is life but a consistent reoccurring first period? It is confusing, it is embarrassing, you bleed, you cry. You think it's the end, but it's only the beginning. You hate yourself for being beautiful. The first period is a lesson that we all need to learn at some point. Life is a messy fucking affair. The road to joy is often riddled with many potholes, but it's the potholes that make the untarnished open road so much more pleasant. Now I could stand up here and defame menopause quite harshly, but the fact is that I feel it's unnecessary. The first period is the beginning of a lady's ladiness. Menopause is the winding down of said ladiness. As most anyone will tell you, it is highly preferable to be at the beginning of something rather than the end. As inconvenient and uncomfortable as periods may be, it seems to me that those who end up fertilizing one of these eggs seem pretty pleased with the miraculous result. What is most important to remember in regards to periods? Whether it be your first, your second, or 300, in it dwells all of humanity, and methinks this is a fine cause to bleed for. Thank you.